friendship bracelets are, correct? We've all either given or received a friendship bracelet, but I decided to take my friendship braceleting to the next level by starting a business of selling them. I started my business in the summer of 2019. I made a whole Instagram for it and everything called Beachside Jewelry. Here are some of my designs. I made a lot of sales, but obviously 14-year-old me didn't keep good track of my finances, so I couldn't tell you how much I made. Today I'm going to teach you how to make my most popular item, which is this chevron friendship bracelet. The craft of giving and receiving friendship bracelets began with Native Americans that then remained popular with teens throughout the years. According to NativeAmericanBracelet.net, it is said that whoever receives native friendship bracelets should wear them until the threads break and the bracelet falls off. Wearing the bracelet honors the hard work put into making them, while removing it indicates that the friendship has gone bad. According to Native American culture, someone who receives a bracelet should make a wish, which will come true if the bracelet falls off naturally. Now that you know a bit more about friendship bracelets, let's go into how they're made. Specifically, this chevron pattern friendship bracelet. We will cover the materials you need, assembling the bracelet, and how to actually make the bracelet. The first step we take when making a friendship bracelet is gathering our materials, obviously. Typically, when you're making a friendship bracelet, you use this type of regular string. You can get it anywhere from the craft sections at Walmart, Michael's, Target, anywhere. It's very cheap. It's like less than $1. For today's demonstration, I did plan on using thicker string, but I couldn't find it. So just gonna have to deal with this thin string. I'll bring it around just so you guys can see better. But yeah, so you could use, however, you can use any string that you want. You can use regular string, yarn, rope. You could use plastic if you really wanted to. Once you've selected your type of string, you're going to then get at least 4 different colors of that kind of string. You can definitely use one color, but typically you would use 4, and so you can see the actual arrow pattern of the bracelet. Once you've chosen your 4 colors, you're going to want to cut the length that you need. According to 4h.org, you should measure the diameter of your wrist and multiply that by 5, or you can measure at 72 inches, since that's the typical length you need for this kind of bracelet. Personally, what I do is I'll just take the string. It's very easy to pull out, and then I just do my wingspan, and usually that's like enough for me. I mean, sometimes it kind of I do kind of have like 3 or 4 inches of excess string left, so you should probably just use the 72 inches for if you don't want to waste. Then you're going to need some tape or a safety pin to hold down the actual bracelet while you're doing your knots. The way you use the safety pin to hold down your bracelet won't make sense right now, but it will in the next step. Now that you've gathered all your materials, let's move on to our second step, which is assembling the bracelet. The assembly is very crucial if you want the colors of your bracelet in a specific way. For example, if you want your colors to be pink, then purple, blue, and then white, then you're going to want to put those colors on top of each other. And then once you've gotten those colors, then you're going to want to, I'll show you with this, you're going to want to pick up the string, from the middle, and then you're going to want to tie a knot at the top to hold all the strings together so that you can actually make your bracelet. It's very simple, it's just a knot like that. But I already did that, so I did that here at the top, if you guys can see. And yeah, and then this part is where you're going to tape it down. Like here, you're going to tape it down on your table on the flat surface, and you're going to want to tape it down very well. Usually if I use tape, I'll tape it down and I'll put something heavy on top so that there's no way it moves, because if it moves around and stuff, then it's going to mess you up and it's going to be hard to just do your knots. And yeah, so okay, and then with that, yeah, and then personally for me, my favorite way of holding down my bracelet was getting a needle or a safety pin and then pushing it through a pillow, and it was very convenient for my business. I would just put on a movie or a show, and then I would just braid away like this. You can get a safety pin, and then you push it through the big knot, and it'll stay in, it won't move at all. So yeah, that was very nice. Now for our third step, the actual braiding of the bracelet. This is the more complex part, but it gets easier with practice. Now we have 8 individual strands of string, so we're going to split them in half, 4 on each side, and we're going to organize the colors to be parallel with each other. So as you can see here, we have red, orange, purple, blue, green, blue, and they have the same like pattern, like it's like mirror, the same colors and the same way on the left and the right side. And you want to make sure that it stays like this so you can get the good arrows. So once you've done that, then you're going to start off, then you're going to take the string on the outside and you're going to make a 4 over it on the next string. So in this example, you would take the green string and you do a 4 over the pink string, and then you take this extra string and then you push it through here, and then you take it all the way to the top, and then you make a tight knot. And then once you do it over the pink string, then you're going to go on to the next string and make a 4 over that string, take the extra string, put it through the knot, and take it all the way to the top and do a very tight knot. And you're going to continue to do that until this green color reaches the middle. And then you're done for the left side for this step. And then you're going to do the exact same thing that you did on the left side to the right side. So you're going to take this green string, make it a 4 over the pink string, take the excess and put it through the hole, and then take it all the way to the top. And you're going to continue to do that to each next string. And then the greens will eventually meet up in the middle. And once they're in the middle, they're the same color, so it doesn't matter if you take the left string and put it over the right string, or if you take the right string and put it over the left string, because they're the same color. So then you can just do that, and then you're done. You have your first row. And then you're just going to repeat that step with the rest of the colors until you move on. So it's just really the same steps, the same cycle. You just like repeat it over and over and over again. And I would like to add that the number of strings that you use will correspond to its thickness. So we're going to get a fairly thin bracelet because we're only using 4. So in my example here, it's going to be pretty thin because we're only using 4 bracelets. I one time did like 10 strings and the bracelet turned out to be very thick, but it ended up being really nice, but it took me a very long time. But yeah. And yeah. So some common mistakes when you're making a bracelet is when you're doing your knots here, if you do it too tight at the top of the bracelet, then the pink will start to show when you don't want it to show. But that's a very easy fix if that happens. You can just take like a knit, or you can just take like a needle and then push it into the back and easily undo it. And finally, you now know how to make a friendship bracelet. The materials needed, assembling the bracelet, and then knot tying. This is a very beneficial thing to know how to make, because if you have younger cousins, nieces, nephews, significant other, really anybody, you can now make them a cute bracelet that's an easy gift, but also shows the time and effort you're willing to put into gifts for them. You're just not going to wear a bracelet that's gifted to them. Thank you.